and welcome to week 3 of ATTR 798 for sections 301 and 302. So you guys have already gone through, you've chatted with your classmates about your research project and what you're doing, and then have created a written list that Dr. Powden and I will be going through and critiquing. And so if your research advisor has not yet seen this, please make sure that they do get this right away. One thing that I do want to kind of talk to you guys next about is kind of the next steps of where we go. So just because you guys have kind of talked, you're starting to have ideas, this does not mean that we are here yet. This is the biggest part to start creating what you're doing as far as the methods of your project. And so one of the biggest things is I think people underestimate how much time it actually takes to develop the instruments for research. So specifically speaking, for those who are going to do instrument development through survey, who are going to do interviews, this is where a bulk of your work is going to happen, is in creating your tools. So your research team is going to be throwing out terms such as like a Delphi panel, and going through and working on validity of your instrument. And so if you're unfamiliar with what this is, if you do a survey, we're going to continue to work together and create a group of experts who are going to be able to go through and look at your stuff, ensure that our questions are worded correctly if there are questions, ensure that we've incorporated everything we need within the scope of what you're doing. If you're doing an interview protocol, expect the 1 to 2, maybe 3 research mentors who are helping you guys on your project to go through multiple drafts of it. This does not mean that you have not done a good job, but this just means how much work there is within this. One thing I think it is important for you guys is you guys need to be the experts on the topic that you're doing. You each have an advisor who has the understanding, who has the project for a specific reason, but they may still not know the information quite as well as you should. And so you should be the in-house resident expert on X, Y, or Z, whatever your project is. And so for me, medical documentation, whenever I go through any of my work, is I have to be the one who has all the information on it, and I'm getting help from my advisors too on finishing up for like my dissertation, for example. And so for you guys, whatever your topic is, please make sure that you know that literature well. It's going to help you help us throughout the whole entire process. If you don't have a plan to meet with your research team, please make sure you have that set up. So I know that I'm doing the phone calls on Thursday mornings from 8 to 10 for everyone working with Dr. E, and then Dr. Games has it from 9 to 11, and then Dr. Powden is by appointment. So make sure that whatever that means for you individually, that you have that set up specifically for Dr. Powden's. It's really important to stay in contact early and often. Now, this week we're going to focus all about methods. So you should know by now if your project's quantitative, qualitative, all that kind of information. And so we have a ton of resources, both reading as well as video. So please make sure you go through and read everything that is appropriate and matches up with your study. So for example, if you have a qualitative study that you are doing interviews, it is not as advantageous for you to understand how to do physical data collection of at the ankle or any of that information. So please make sure you're going through. If you question that the information should or should not be related to you, watch it anyway, read it anyway. By the end of the week, you're going to have to concept map your method. So this is going to be going through completely what you're going to do when you go into your study. There's 2 examples on there. When I think of concept map, just how my brain works, I think a lot more toward that second map that you have that's a PowerPoint slide on there. So I like using SmartArt and arrows and having table listings on the side and being able to work through it that way. That's what works for me. Now at this point, I do not expect any of you guys to be experts in your methods, but you should have reached already out to people or will be continuing to reach out to people who do understand this to help you. So emailing us Saturday night saying, hey, I don't know what I'm doing for my methods probably won't be the most effective. But for example, the people I'm helping specifically, get a draft together and come to the meeting Thursday and be able to go from there. If you do have any questions, please don't hesitate. One thing that I am suggesting on here, obviously if it's something very specific for research. For example, if Tara has a question because she's working with Dr. E and myself, she would reach out to me rather than someone who is working with Dr. Powden specifically on an ankle intervention. But if it is a class-related question, and you guys have done fantastic on it, it's probably advantageous to reach out to both of us, just that way whoever's able to answer faster for you, or there can be easy communication. So this is not that something has happened or something isn't going well. I'm just trying to continue to help and keep this class going as well as it can. So please don't hesitate, like I said a few times. Please reach out early. Please reach out often. And we'll do our best to get back to you as quick as we can. But it's important that you guys stay on top of this, that you understand kind of what's coming up. And yeah, we're getting pretty close. So some of you guys I know have already started like working on your tool developments, and that's what these next couple weeks specifically are. So it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be really busy. But this semester is going to really set the foundation for your study. So if you change the study, you're still fine. But you're going to need to make sure that you kind of catch up and get some of the background research done if it's changing that much. So I hope you guys have a fantastic week. If you're anywhere in the Midwest specifically, try to stay warm as this week's going to be pretty miserable and cold. And I look forward to chatting with you guys shortly. Have a good one.